Good morning, Internet. If you're just joining us, we finally just sold something. So we came in long and added a few things this morning and finally sold the Qs. But we're still in them because I'm not selling unless they break Friday, 1 o'clock in the morning lows, which are now still to me generational lows. But we broke the lows today, forces me to sell. That's the overnight low break. So I just got out. But I'm not selling the rest unless they go way back to where they were, way back so many days ago, Friday morning. That's my second stop. And that's how you stay in some of these swing trades. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're in some of these names, let me just give you a brief review of what we're doing today. Cliff was the earnings report trade. This morning, it was a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal to the downside. The trade hasn't failed in over 4 years. Didn't take it. Because I missed it at 10, I missed it at 9.85, and it went down $1. So that trade that works every single time continues to work every single time. And there it was. So what do? Well, if I missed it on the downside in a market that never goes down, I might as well look to buy it. So after it faux showed, broke the 9, went down. Looks different here. It actually didn't go to 882. It only went to 888. I don't know why it says 82 there. I was watching it. 12 cents, eighth of a point. Stock starts to rally. I should have bought it at 9. I didn't buy it. I bought it at 908. Pops to 925. I'm selling a little bit. I raised my stop to my entry point. And next thing you know, we're off to the races. And a wonderful little trade. Cheap stock, low risk, nice reward. If you guys were with us yesterday or last week, we bought this IPO because we're in a market that never goes down. So you might as well buy IPOs that you know nothing about because it's all momentum right now. So on Friday, we bought this IPO as it came out of this Andy Dufresne. We had bought it at 23.65. We banged it out at 25, and then it rolled over and died. We thought it might have been over, but stocks don't go down anymore. So on the way back up, we bought it again, 23.85, sold it again, 25. Thought for sure that was the end of the trade. Next thing you know, buying it again at 24.50 and then loading up at 25 because stocks, now it's breaking a big fat 25. Late day break, 25 got us 27.50. Sold, held it over the weekend, came in this morning. Saw it was up to 38 and change. Just got stopped out of USAR, by the way, at 21.50. Done. Very nice trade also. AVEX was gapped up. Started selling off. I sold it at 30. And moron that I am, never bought it back. Missed out on a nice trade. Most of us are back in this trade long still. IPO. Phenomenal. If you bought LightPath with me last week, we bought some at 14.85. We bought some at 15. It went to 15.75. Plummeted into the close. Bought more. And then this morning, same price, $14. 14 got us 15. Phenomenal trade. Still in it. USAR, same scenario. Beautiful. Bought this one last week with the Rare Earth Group. Held this one. I wasn't awake to see this, but that was they were doing a merger and an acquisition, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Sold it at 22.50 on the way up. Was expecting to get to 25. Just sold it on the way back down to 22.50. So we're done with that for now. VICR, if anybody owns it, they're reporting earnings tomorrow morning. Word of caution, this stock fell 40 points last time they reported, but then it rallied 150 points after that. Attempted to sell it off. Big fan, huge fan. Still think the stock's going to 500 to 600, possibly 1,000. I'm probably taking it into the number, but just with 100 shares. And if it does tank in the aftermarket and tomorrow morning, not afraid to buy more. But again, if you're afraid of a big swing, they're reporting tomorrow morning. And if you're in the Watt trade, I just sold 100 shares. I'm not selling the whole thing yet until it breaks 25. But this stock kind of makes me nervous, even though I think it's going to $80. It's very illiquid, very hard to trade, very annoying. And, we're in from 20, sold 22.50 and 25. And the chart says this thing could be looking at $80. That's why I'm in it. And I have taken my day trading and I've kind of just put it on the back burner right now. Obviously, the Cliff, wonderful trade, only day trade really. I mean, if I didn't get the light path, but that would have been a day trade / swing trade. Right now, this market is conducive to holding. And that's what we're in the middle of, right? So this is still an unprecedented 3-week rally. Never seen before in the history of mankind have we gone from an 18-month low to an all-time high in only 15 trading days. It actually happened in 11. The number one quickest, fastest recovery in the history of mankind, and that's what I've been saying for the last 15 years. The recovery times from sell-off to rallies are becoming less and less and less, to the point where I think inevitably we won't actually have any sell-offs anymore. And we'll just slowly grind up and the market will become really boring. And I hope that doesn't happen, but trading would be over. But you're starting to see why I say the market never goes down. We all just witnessed what I try to explain. Shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. The market doesn't go down. And if you base your investments or you base your trades on extracurricular, that's the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Something circumstances. Other circumstances from what you really should be focusing on, you're going to lose money. Because if anything, society, right, has gotten decidedly worse over the last month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. But we just witnessed some of the greatest rallies of all time. Obviously, if you were around, and I think most of us were, the last time we actually had a prolonged bear market was because the market crashed in 2000, and then we had 9/11, which was a big part of the reason we stayed down. I don't think we're going to have an environment where we stay down for more than 10 years ever again. But also, the new bull market that began in 2009, we're still in it. And then it got re-energized during COVID, and we're still in that. So it's irresponsible not to allow the market to work for you when it's back into never go down mode, which it pretty much is always in never go down mode. But let's try to milk it and do less trading, less churning, less activity. More activity is usually a bad thing for the trader. Now it's a detriment. You should not be doing a lot of trading in this environment. The only thing we just did was sold the Qs because they broke down under a price. I haven't done a trade since. And I haven't really traded much today because I'm not trading. I'm just milking these trades and still long the Qs. And now it's probably a faux show, bro. But that's why if you're going to swing trade I'm not calling it investing. VICR is an investment. Rambus is an investment. But if you're swinging, you're generally looking for the trend to stay intact. That's why these last 3 weeks have been unprecedented. You haven't had a trend-breaking moment in most stocks. So how do you stay in these stocks when you're dying to sell like me? Prior day low. So even though the Qs just sold off and I sold some, not selling any more of it unless they break prior day low, which is way back on Friday. And if you remember the prior day lows, I'm talking about prior day low. Right down there. That's 935.55. Qs break 930, not 639.55. I'm out. Other than that, I'm in. So absolutely awesome day, except for me selling AVEX. big mistake on my part, but I could have bought it back. I just, whatever. I was trading Cliff instead. Bad choice on my part, but most of us are in still. Great trade. IPOs are ripping. And by the way, just another indication of bullishness. When IPOs are ripping higher, we're in an irrational, exuberant market because IPOs stink. Right? So how do you remind yourself not to sell? Lunar. Right? This stock represents all that's wrong, but yet right with the market. This company does not exist. It's a fake company. They pretend that they have rockets that they sent to the moon to do some sort of exploration. They don't. Even if they did, what happened? It crashed. It fell into a crater. Then they sent another one. What did it do? It tipped over. They made it all the way to the moon. They don't have any hydraulics on their machine. This company's a joke. But while it was crashing and burning, what's the stock done? It's gone from 6 to 30. Please don't ever try to make sense of the market ever again. You'll hurt your brain. So now the only thing that you need to know is that this market on March 31st put in generational lows. So everything we're doing from this point on is based on what happened on March 31st. You're a day trader, you're a swing trader, you're an investor. Everything revolves around March 31st, April 1st, April 2nd, when you had 3 power gaps in the middle. It set the tone for the rest of not just the month or the year, life. That was a life-changing event, and you just witnessed what happens after you get a power gap. The market rips. So everything we're looking at, everything we're basing everything on going forward revolves around. I go back to February 3rd because that's where the sell-off kind of started from. But really, it's that bottom, that pivot, and the follow-through on Thursday. And here we are. Just trying to do as best we can. And right now, not trading is the best suggestion. There was one trade today. I guess 2. I liked Lightpath because it was opening up under 14 in the pre-market. But for me, it was one trade. It's Cliff. And it was, as a matter of fact, it was 2 trades in the Cliff. I just didn't partake in the first one. And let me just say this one more time. This trade has not failed to provide a winning trade in 4 years, close to 5 now. Now, let's assume you were the shorter and you said, oh, okay, we got a gapped up stock breaking VWAP and multi-day VWAP. I'm in. And you crushed it. But you didn't take the profit. And let's say the stock goes all the way back to $10 at some point today. And you say, well, that didn't work out. Are you insane? That would be my follow-up question. Are you insane? You just had a stock go from $10 to $8.88. That's some lovely money. You got to take the money, lower your stops, and then remind yourself that you're in a short position that you made money on. Did you think for a second that was going to last? I don't care if the company announced they're going out of business. It'll probably bounce. Remind yourself about Lunar. If Lunar can go up, any stock could go up. They don't even exist. They don't make rockets. It's a joke. So if you miss something on the way down, you better believe it, you're looking to buy it. But take this into consideration. Somebody who shorted this stock and is sitting there going, oh, man, this is a great trade, and you've let this thing go right back all the way almost to back where it came from, is that a bad trade? No, you're bad. Is this a losing idea? No, you're a loser. Because this is basically the only active trade that we've had on all day. But the theme here, the mo, right, is that if you miss something on the short side, and it was a phenomenal trade, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, stock went from 10 all the way to 880, and if you didn't cover, you're a dumb. And you have to understand, This is kind of this is why I'm reminding you the market never goes down. So if you missed a wonderful trade that works every single time on the short side, you still got to expect it to make a little triumphant comeback. And this is now phenomenal. Sell it. Sold to you right now. And now you could finally raise your stop to the 936 area. Because this is how we've been doing it lately. The market never goes down. You get yourself a good price of a stock and you sell some of it. Now you own it. There's no reason to sell any more Cliff unless it breaks that 936 area. So now you're strapped in. You just add this one to your portfolio. You didn't know you were going to own Cliff today, but now you do because you're not selling it because the market never goes down. You just did a wonderful blue line to orange line trade. You're selling 50% now. Now you raise your stop to the 936 and you're in for life unless the stock breaks 936. And by the way, look what the Qs are doing right now. You see why I'm not selling my entire position at one price? Because we're never going down, ever. Every move to the downside is met with an equal and greater move to the upside. They try to get you. That's why you use multiple stops. I got this stock what? Right? I just sold it. It's up almost $1 already since I sold. Right? AVEX up 9 since I sold. I'm not selling. I had nothing to do. I only had 100 shares left. So I had to sell it. But if I had 200 shares, it'd still be in 100. Don't sell. Everything's going up. You take a little profit and raise your stop to the point where you can't lose and sit back and enjoy the market. We are going up, and there's nothing anybody could do about it. It's certainly not about war or the price of oil or who the president is or inflation, stagflation, or interest rates. None of that matters. It never will ever again. So if you're asking yourself, why is this stock at $40? Because that's the program, right? Once you broke 25, 27.50. 27.50 gets you 30. Generally, when an IPO breaks 35, not only does it go to 40, it goes to 50. So you got to be thinking, why would I sell if this stock's on its way to 50? And then what happens at 50? You're going to say, oh, wow, this is amazing. Good thing I didn't sell it all at one price. And then it gets to 50. You're going to sell it all there? No, because when IPOs break 50, they go to 80. 80. So why would you sell it? You sell some just in case it doesn't go to 80. And that's the market we're in. You take some profit, you raise the stop, you hope for the best. And you just base everything on what we've seen this market do since 09. Because they broke the market in 2009. It never goes down anymore. Every down move is met with an equal and greater move every single time. Why would this time be different? It's never different. And here we are, living the dream, baby. Living the dream. Don't sell. And first of all, I'm suggesting not sell long trades. Please don't short anything. Please. Send it to my email, Kenny Glick, AOL. All right, so not much to talk about because it's just going to be a repetitious, redundant conversation, right? So how do you stay in these trades, right? Prior day lows. So the only reason I sold some cues just now is that I had a stop. Well, then again, I didn't have a stop on it. It's just I'm watching. So when they broke those lows, I pressed the button, but I ain't pressing no more buttons. Because one of the buttons I pressed today, I sold AVEX at 30 bucks. So what a great sell that was. Typical bull market, right? I sell, stock goes up 40%. So I ain't selling. And if you guys, let me just say this one more time. Let's reiterate it because it's all worth talking about. By the way, if you're in the cliff trade, this is a total perfect example of the market never going down, right? Company reports earnings, company's slightly gapped up. Company breaks 1 minute, breaks the multi-day, breaks the whole number, tanks. And that's a pretty sweet tank. 10 got you 888. And then we come in knowing the market doesn't go down. So when do we buy it? Well, faux show bro on the cliff. 1 minute VWAP break, 1 minute gets you to the prior day, right? So the reason I'm saying this again is, remember, we're actively trading. So if you're in a trade like Cliff Short this morning, and you said, all right, I'm down, man. You said this trade always works. Oh my God, it is working. 10 bucks. Woo. Next thing you know, it's at 880. Let's just call it 9. And you're up $1,000 bucks. And you're like, wow, this is awesome. And then the market opens up and it starts to rally. And then it does the faux show and then it breaks VWAP. And you decided, nah, you know what? I'm going to hold on to it. Did the trade screw up or did you screw up? You screwed up, especially if you're a shorter. Never, ever think you're going to hold a short for any extended period of time in a market that never goes down, right? So the reason this is just, I want to go over this again. This trade worked coming and going, or going and coming. And the better you get at this, you'll be on both sides of this trade, especially if you short first. Because if you short first, you had a reason to short it. Gapped up on earnings, breaking VWAP and multi-day VWAP. That's all the reason you need. And you got paid. And then you remind yourself, shorting is short-lived and I'm going to die. So you're covering on the way down. And then you're certainly not going to be on the other side of the trade that works every time, the fake them out, shake them out VWAP break. Why would you? You wouldn't. So even if you waited to the last second to say, all right, this thing just faux show, bro, I should have covered it here. Oh my God, another faux show. And you got to cover at 920. And the better you get at this, you'll say, oh, wait a minute. Now that I'm covering, why don't I go long with very limited risk of 8 cents? And your entry point's at 920. And you make yourself 50 cents on a $9 stock, which is a pretty good trade. But more importantly, you were on the other side, and now you're on the right side. So you made almost $1 on the way down, and now you made almost $1 on the way back up. And the person that owns the stock ain't making anything. That's why trading is still the best. The person that's owned this stock for 2 years is still underwater by 50%. But meanwhile, we're having the best time with it, both coming and going. How do I enter a trade? VWAP breaks and faux show bros. It's all chart pattern recognition. So why did I buy VICR today? Let me explain. The stock's going to 800, first of all, which is always an incentive. We've been trading the stock since 50. I was in from 50. I sold it at 75. Bought it back at 125, sold it at 150. Now it's at 225, right? I'm feeling a little left out. So this morning, I was like, oh, look, the stock that I want to buy is red. How convenient for me, because I want to buy it. I'd rather buy stocks when they're down on the way back up than have to buy high and sell higher, which is the theme of the market, buying high and selling higher. There's nothing wrong with that. But how much awesomer is it when you get to trap the moron shorts that still thinks the stock market can go down, which it can't. So we understand that. Right? A lot of people don't. But what you do understand is a faux show bro. So when a stock breaks a new low, and then it comes back above that price, and then it breaks the VWAP, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get yourself a winning trade. It's not a reversal. It's just fake them out, shake them out, VWAP break. So the market, like it does, and it's been doing to people since inception, is it convinces you that it's going to go down, and then it doesn't. But it usually gets worse before it gets better because the market's trying to hurt as many people as it can on its way up. So the fake out, shake out, which has been working for me since I started trading in 96. Now, when I see the faux show, fake them out, shake them out under the VWAP, now I've got algorithmic buying helping me identify this trade, and also providing me with new entries. So, for instance, let's say you weren't involved in VICR, and then you did a little fake them out, shake them out. Fake them out, shake them out, prior day VWAP hold, back above the VWAP, buy it. That's a cool 9 points for you. And this is just one trade. So let's talk about this new one that I own, LPTH, which I hope you guys bought that also. And by the way, I am not a swing trader, right? But I have to now because the market doesn't go down. I'm not going to not enjoy a market that is ripping higher every day, right? So with Lightpath, I just discovered this stock on Wednesday. Bought a little bit Thursday. And then the next day I came in, I'm like, oh shit, this stock's breaking 3-year highs. I'm in. I bought more. And then what happened to me? Got a blow off top. Oh, man. That is pretty awful. I bought more at 15. The thing went to 15.75, rolled over. Normally, I don't even let this happen to me, but I'm in it as a swinger. So I didn't really want to, I'm not going to bail my first day because I just started nibbling. I'm not going to freak out considering I got the 15-day VWAP is the 1250. If it would have broke 1250 today, I probably would have had dumped it. That's one of my stops. And then I got another one. Here's the 20-day, 12 and a quarter, 1250. Really not too nervous unless the stock breaks down into those prices. So this morning, when I walked in, I was like, all right, this is still below 14. Let's try to buy some. And I tried to, and it rallied so quickly, I didn't even get any more of it. Just join us. Yeah, I was in AVEX from 2365. I sold 25 and 2750. I held 100 shares over the weekend. Saw it in the 30s, and I wound up getting out at the worst possible price, which was $30 this morning. No joke, I sold it at the worst possible price, and then faux show bro, and then buy it back because I was buying Cliff and Q's and Lightpath and what and some other trades that I was involved in. And I missed it. Yeah, but no doubt, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to consolidate between $35 and $40. It's going to break 40 and go to 50 and then 80. I have no doubt the stock's on its way to 80, then 120 bucks. I'll have to buy it back sooner or later, but right now I'm not in it. But let me show you some of these names I am in because most of them have potential to go up, not just 10%, 20%. I'm looking at 600 to 700 to 1,000% potentials. And this is not options. This is stock, people. LPTH, right? The sector is taking off. Whether you even know about the sector or not, I'm telling you about it, right? This was a stock that was a pump and dump 26 years ago. And it's been dog shit ever since. And what happens in this market when the dog shit stocks come back? Let me show you what happens. LITE happens. You guys know about LITE? There you go. 10 years of absolute dog shit. Stock breaks $30. It's at $9.60. $9.60. I want more of these. So I found LPTH. How you like me now? It's the same chart. Where's it going? I'm going to go set 960. You guys know about what? What? Remember what? Where's this one going? 960. Remember Rambus when I gave that one to you? Why do I love Rambus? Because it's the same looking chart. 27-year highs. Where's this one going? Hopefully 1 million. It's only a 27-year slumber it's coming out of and about to break all-time highs again. You know when stocks break all-time highs in the market that we're in, know what they do? They go up 100% from here. So my target literally is 270 minimum. So if you think that I'm being irrational right now, you betcha. You bet I am. But irrational exuberance pays. Irrational exuberance is good. Greed is good in a market that's telling you now's the time to be greedy. You're going to sell a stock at $30 and watch it go to 40? No more. Don't sell it all. I mean, that's the only thing. I probably shouldn't have sold. I only had 100 shares, so I was like, I'll sell it. I should have sold 50 shares. That other 50 shares, I would have made 10 points. But my portfolio now is littered with dog shit stocks, but they're all ripping. LPTH. What? NVTS. Well, Rambus ain't dog shit because it's basically at all-time highs, but Rambus. Qs. Did you think the market was actually going to go down today? Oh, by the way, if you think the Qs being down 4 points today after rallying 100 is significant? Oh, if you're not catching, I'm being subtle. I'm being sarcastic. It's not. It's not significant. USAR, right? We're all big fans of this one. This one I sold. Why? Because it broke 22.50. And then look what it did. Just to show you how the market's rigged. What happened? 22.50 breaks. Where does it go? It goes and says hello to its friend at the prior day VWAP, holds it back to the one. This is what I talk about, my friends. The market is rigged and pre-programmed to VWAP and prior day VWAP levels. Look at it. None of these moments that we share together are insignificant. I'm always pointing out stuff that proves my theory. This isn't a debate anymore. I've won the debate. The market's rigged. Wasn't reacting on oil prices and war. That was the cover story. And when these stocks start breaking out, I mean, look at this light path. Look at this stock. This is the dumbest chart I've ever seen, right? But now it's legitimate because it's held this 1 year VWAP, held the 1 year VWAP, held the 1 year VWAP, rallied to all-time highs, and now you're due for some consolidation. But the moron that I used to be, I would see this stock, light path, $2. This thing went from 2 to 15. Oh, it's going back to 0 any day, and I would short it. I don't do that anymore because that doesn't work. Now I see a stock that's about to consolidate between probably 12.50 and 15 and rip. And look where it's going to rip to, right? So look at this chart. Look at this chart. You got to go back a long time because it's been so garbage for so long, right? There's your Andy Dufresne. You just came out of it, monster. But now you go on a 10-year chart on a monthly. I mean, this thing's been so dead, it got to go back more than 10 years. It's so crazy. 15 years on a monthly. You're still not even seeing it. Wow. I'm going to go back 20 years. So sick. Yeah, you still don't appreciate it. You got to go back to lifetime. Now you're seeing it. There it is. You telling me the stock's not about to blast off for 100% to get to $35? And you telling me when it breaks $35, it can't squeeze to 120? What universe do you live in? All I see is stocks ripping from $8 to 120 every other day. I gotta be in some of these. So I'm in the light path. Here's the what? Right? Remember AAOI? Yeah, you do. $1.40 to 162. That's what I'm talking about. You see a LITE, right? $30 to 960. That's what I'm talking about. Every stock has that potential in this market. Everything's on the cusp of epic squeezes. And that's why all these names are great. And that's why when you're buying, when IPOs are ripping, you know the market's in irrational exuberance. And it's fantastic because we could stay irrationally exuberant for the next 3 years because the bull market just started on March 31st. We're only 3 weeks in. We got another 18 months to 3 years of this now. Because IPOs are the worst of the worst. IPOs are no good. Companies go public to dump their shitty stock onto retail because that's how they cash out. 9 out of 10 IPOs are garbage. But when IPOs are hanging in there, like Schwarmer, SWMR, and obviously AVEX, when IPOs are hanging in there and you're getting paid buying them on the first day or two, you know we're in an irrationally exuberant market. And there's nothing to do about it but just buy and hold. You don't want to overtrade in a market that just goes up. By the way, here come a couple other names that you guys know about the nuclear stocks, right? Were you waiting today to buy SMR, right? You missed all that wonderful movement last week, right? And then at faux show bros, blue line to orange line becomes resistance, goes back to blue, faux shows again. Now you got yourself a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. So when you walked in and you saw ASTS news, right? And you said, oh man, good thing I don't own that stock. That's not what you should have said. You said, good. I'm glad it's down. When do I buy it? Oh, look, a faux show bro VWAP break. Cool. And then it comes back to test VWAP on top. Cool. And then it just does this. Cool. Nothing's going down, people. Every stock's a buy. You just got to sit and wait for the turns. And when you get the VWAP retrace, that gives you a risk-reward trade, which is clearly in your favor, like Cliffy. You were risking a whopping 8 cents on this trade. You don't want to take a trade where you're risking 8 cents. Didn't mean it was going to work. But when you have stocks that are in play, that reported earnings, that are gapped down and breaking VWAP, 9 out of 10 are going to go higher, buy it. You were risking 8 cents. And now the stock's gone up 50, 8 to 50. It's a nice risk reward, risking 8 cents to make 50 cents. So if you do math, 2,000 shares, you're risking $160. You made $1,000. If you can risk $160 to make 1,000 on every trade that you do for the rest of your days, you will be coming out ahead. Unless you're some deluded knucklehead that doesn't realize that every once in a while you do have to sell. And by the way, I may never buy AVEX ever again because I'm mortified now. Mortified that I sold this thing at $30. Unbelievable. So going back to the QQQ trade, right? Why would you sell it? It's been a 3-week unprecedented rally. You had a little bit of selling today, completely contained already. You haven't broke prior day lows, so you're still in. That's how you swing. That's why these last 3 weeks have been unprecedented, because you really actually haven't had any real reason to sell your position other than lightening up and taking profits, which is a good thing. And you should still all be in the cliff with us. Hopefully you guys are in AVEX, Light Path, What, Qs, Short UVXY, VICR, NVTS, Rambus. And you also, again, thank you so much. My dungeon dwellers have stepped up. My new players who are enjoying this market, right? Nobody pivots better than I do, right? Because I've been a victim. Any move that happens in the market, there was a 3-year period where I was on the wrong side. From 2012 to 2015, I couldn't make money. I couldn't save myself. I almost went broke. I hid it from my family. And in those 3 years, all I do now is I conjure up all the feelings that everything I did wrong for those 3 years. Now, when I see that stuff, I'm like, oh, here's where I would do some dumb shit. Let me not do that this time and actually take the other side of the trade that still deep down inside, I'm thinking, oh, man, I hope this works. Because I'm a bearish guy. But there is zero to be bearish about. And I won't make those mistakes anymore. So when I see a stock that's gone from 2 to 14, now I say, oh, I guess this is going to 100. My former self would be like, oh, I got to short this thing at 14 because it's going back to $2 any day. No, it's not. And that's why the shorters right now, they're shorting the Qs thinking, oh, we just rallied 100 points on the Qs. This isn't sustainable. Sure it is. Sure it is. How's May 9th? You guys free May 9th? It's a Saturday. What are you guys doing May 9th at 12 o'clock? I'm thinking about getting together again. Go over these trades, make sure you have some idea what's about to happen, give you all these ideas, show you where to place stops, how to stay in these. Again, I'm not the best swing trader. If you ain't making money swing trading right now, then you're obviously must be the most nervous trader ever. And scared money makes no money. Because right now, day trading is a detriment to your health. You want to be doing as little day trading right now as possible. You want to day trade? Earnings. That's it. Everything else is a buy and hold. See, right? You probably got a little nervous when the Qs was selling off, right? And then you said, wait a minute, they didn't break prior day lows. What the hell am I nervous about? Exactly. Exactly. So now the way you look at it when you're swinging, you're willing to sacrifice these 5 points for the next 400. Qs ain't just going up to 650. They're going to 1,043. Right? So that's 400 points from here for $5 of risk. You're not willing to take that risk? Because now that we had a little pullback today, Friday lows, I'm talking about the 1 a.m. lows, Friday's lows are now new generational lows, and you're not selling unless they break. Because my target on the Qs is 1,043. I'm strapped in unless they break prior day lows. And that's what's the miracle of these last 3 weeks. We're never breaking prior day lows on anything. So we have to hold by law. Everything I've sold has gone up. Look where NVTS is. I sell this thing at 987. Took my 2 points. I was doing well. And next thing you know, now I don't own it. It's up 35% since I sold it. AVEX sold it at 40. It's up 40% since I sold it, which was this morning. I'm not selling. I'm not selling anything. Every time I sell something, it doubles. Done. And look at this USAR. It's 20 cents from coming back from where I sold that. You can't sell. But if you do, and then it comes back to a price where you know something significant just happened, why not buy it back at $21.50? Look at this. It's 8 cents away. Man, that was a pretty damn good sell at one point, and now it's not. Welcome to the bull market that never ends. All right, so guys, if you guys want to gather May 9th, I got to make sure I have nothing going on that day. Hang on a second. That's a busy week. May 9th. By the way, if anybody wanted to come visit the New York Stock Exchange, we'll be there. Me, Don Corleone, and a few of us are going to the Stock Exchange. We're going to do a little tour, but then we had an event. I can't get you into the event. Then again, you could actually just email StockTwits and maybe get into the event for free. They were trying to charge $1,000 for this event. right? And nobody was buying it. And then they reduced the prices by half and then about 80%. I think they're giving out free tickets now. So if you wanted to visit the stock exchange and get a few free cocktails, May 4th. And then we're going out that night. And I don't know what's going to happen that night, but I'm probably not coming home. So May 5th, I won't be here. Crashing somewhere. I don't know where yet. But and then May 7th, I got another event. And then maybe the 9th we do the class. So hello. And the wizard. Is the wizard here? If the wizard's holding VICR into their earnings, then we'll all hold it. The wizards are a good luck charm. Hey, are you holding VICR into the report? Because if you are, I will. If you don't, I won't. Who do I need to talk to? All right. Let's see what my wife's doing. My wife! Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the class May 9th, 12 o'clock. Are we around? Okay, because that's a really busy week. You know what's happening that week, right? So the 3rd, me and Donna hanging out. And then we're going to the city. Okay, and then the 4th, I'm staying out all night, never coming back. Debauchery. And then I don't know. You know what happens when I have a hotel room in the city. Anyway, the 5th, and I'll just make my way home. And then the Thursday night, I'm going back out. And then the night. All right, cool. Just want to make sure. So 12 to 3, I'm good. Done. See you later. Bye. All right, everybody. May 9th, 12 o'clock. We're in. Let's pencil it in. Let's put it in stone. Let's get the corporate overlords involved. And let's rock. We're good for May 9th, corporate overlords. So pencil it in. Spread the word. Well, we're just going to talk about all the stuff that we did today because it's awesome, except for this light path slowly drifting down. All right, so May 9th, 12 o'clock. I'm good. All right. So listen, you guys, if you guys want to come to this event, I'm telling you, they're letting people in for nothing. They were charging $1,000 for this thing. Don Corleone obviously was man of the year at this event last year, so he's like VIP. I got, I know enough people where I finagled my way in to get a free ticket. But we're going to probably get there before the event if you guys, if you wanted to see what the floor of the exchange looks like. So I was thinking about going in the afternoon. And then this thing starts at around 6:30. I think they're going to kick you out. Oh, they kick you out by. But Google, it's called Cash Tag Awards on StockTwits. Maybe you guys could conjure up some free tickets and even get to the event because they got food and drink and a comedy show, and it's a lot of fun. Certainly not worth $1,000, even worth $100, maybe $100, but I wouldn't pay to go to this event. But if you've never been to the stock exchange and you wanted to see it, now this would be a good chance. And then I can see if I can get a little mini tour going with my guys that I still know on the floor. But I just can't promise you that you can get into the event. So you'd have to beat it. We'd meet afterwards to the after party. The wizard? You're allowed out of school? The Wizard's coming? Oh, if the Wizard's coming, everybody got to meet the Wizard. The Wizard walks amongst us? What are you doing in here? Don't you have a life? Yeah. I don't think anybody actually paid that price. I think he just throws it out there to see if he could sucker some people into buying. But I heard they were giving away tickets. Just gotta email somebody. Yeah, last time the VIP, like if you were VIP, you got to go down to the basement and hang with the comedian. If you didn't have the VIP, you had to stay upstairs and watch them on the closed caption TV. That was the difference. But if we can't do it this way, I know enough people down on the floor where we could get our own tour going. JC does it also with James. He does it like twice a year also. And you go into the back of the stock exchange. They have all these little pretty cool stuff back there. Speaking of Don Corleone, the guy is so on fire that he even suggested buying Roku at $90, and now this is at 117. I mean, that dude can't be stopped. All right, I'm going to cut out because it's, I got nothing else to say except the same stuff I've been saying. Greatest market ever by far now. I got 6 positions on, which is like unheard of for me. I want out. I'm dying to sell. I still don't know if I'm going to hold the VICR into the earnings report. I don't know. This thing looks like it's going to 250. It'll probably go there tonight. I hate taking additional risk on anything and going into an earnings report. Obviously you see, I'd rather do the cliff trade, right? Earnings come out, then you react to what's happening. And last time, if you guys remember, VICR was gapped down 40 freaking points and rallied 55 and then proceeded to tack on another 50 points after that. So whatever's going on at VICR or Vicor is good. So just a couple more heads up. Lightpath, I'm buying more today. I bought more. I'm not selling. What? I sold a little bit. I'm not selling any more of it. Q's, definitely not selling unless they break the overnight lows from Friday. And listen, let's say we close right here. Tomorrow, I'll use today's lows as my out because I want to sell. But I'm not selling unless we break trend. And the trend is the overnight lows. So if you guys are in NVTS, only the Wizard's still involved, which is always good. Speaking of the Wizard, I'm out of this thing at 987. Freaking stinks. AVEX, I sold it at freaking 30. That was awful, but still looks pretty good. I'd rather buy this back. Obviously, I'd like to see it 32.50 again, see if it rolls over. Anyone have any questions, concerns, death threats, anything you want to know about? This date, May 9th, is it's a members-only thing, but now we're doing a class every month. So if you join for the month, by default, we're doing you a favor and you get the best of everything. And I think if you join at least for the quarter, I'm sending out a little I launched a new product called Glix Picks, which is basically just a highlight reel of what I'm planning on doing, updates on the swings, but with a chart and a voiceover. So you're getting to see exactly what I'm talking about, not just text on us, in an email. We've taken it to a whole nother level. I'll tell you something. You want a 100x trade? It could be light path. It's the dumbest chart I've seen in a very long time, and I love the more awful the chart, the better the result. I mean, what is there too? I can't trust this stock as much as I want to trust it because it has no options. It's been a pump and dump for 20 years. I do love my Andy Dufresne Kardashian bottom multi-year VWAP break. That's why I'm in the stock. This one makes me nervous. I'm not going to bullshit you. It makes me nervous because there's no volume. Somebody comes along, wants to dump 5 million shares on us. This thing's going right back to $10 that day. But light path, it's not the most, voluminous, but this one's made a nice little staircase. Pump, dump, consolidation, break, pull back, hold, pull back, held, pull back, held. This thing's doing staircases. Staircase good. Parabolic move straight up usually is met with a pretty parabolic move down to the downside. But look at this chart. This chart is just so crazy because you got to go back. You're talking 26 years ago. There's a split in there also. You don't see it, but that's an Andy Dufresne Kardashian bottom from hell. And usually when they look like that, they're just getting started. So that's why I look at this breakdown, the breakdown area, that's 19 and change. But then you're in this craziness right there. That's $35. And if you take and this, bang, boom. Let me see if I could find you that price that I was talking about. Once you start getting into these monstrous candles from way back, we're talking like 25 years ago. It's sick. You're talking about $37. But then if it breaks through there, you're looking at $84. And again, when it's at $84, we're still going to be sitting there going, I can't believe it's at $84. I've seen this happen too many times not to start buying. Again, what do I got 1,200 shares of this thing right now. I'm not going crazy. And if it breaks 1250 and 10, I'll eat this thing if I'm wrong. But I got to be in these names, man. This especially after that light trade. This is just LITE. Look at this thing. This was a $30. This is a $14 stock. It's at 960 now, and it sat around for 15 years. That's why Rambus. It's a 27-year. It's gonna be a 27-year breakout. It's awesome. And I got to tell you something. I'm looking at 1250 and 10. I'd be kind of mortified if it breaks $10. And if the options are still kind of illiquid, but I was thinking, I know I hate call spreads, but look at the premiums on this thing. It's hard not to want to sell an upper strike, but that usually gets you in trouble. Because imagine you do a 15, 17 call spread and the stock goes to 80 and you're getting called out at 1750. That's some pain. I ain't selling calls, but these are fairly priced considering what this stock has potential to do. So, and these are only monthlies. I don't like trading stocks with monthlies. That's what makes what so much scarier. There's not even any options on this one. I hate stocks that don't trade that don't have options. In some respects, it's okay because the shorts can't protect themselves. But at the same time, how do you not have options? I hate stocks without options. So scammy. But LPTH. And by the way, you see this? This is the if you go look at the split adjusted. Yeah, here's where was that? I was showing you this before. There's the what. I'm just looking for 35, but if you can get through 35, then you're in this candle. That's $80 right there. So I got to hang in there with some of these names. I forgot what I was just going to show you now. Shit. We'll go back to LightPath for a second. This is the May 15s. They were $1.40 this morning. Now $1.90. 2 and change last week. I don't hate these. It's a cheap way to own it. You know, even going out. What I used to do, I'd go out and just buy the long dated one. Pay $5 for the 15, you're in. You run the stock for $5 till December. And then again, it's actually not the best. The December 12th. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to see how many anybody buys, if I could buy it. So instead of owning the stock, if you just buy an in the money call, and then again, if the stock goes to zero, you know, you wouldn't let it go to zero, but let's say something disastrous happens, at least you're only exposed to the option. So yeah, the 1250s for 650 is a better buy than the 15s for 550. So let's see if we can buy these at 650. Boom, 640. I'm in. All right. And that's how you test what the real price is. Go in there and bid it. So I just bought a January 1250 for 640. Sorry, January 1250 for 640. Yeah, wrong. January. And there I am. I'm the one guy. Not always. Again, that's why when you see you're the one contract that's traded today, I mean, nobody even knows the stock exists. That's what's kind of good about it, too. All right, there you go. So now, just quick math. You understand why the 1250 for 640 is better than buying a 15 for 550? Right? 12. Let's just do easy math. This 1250 plus 650 is $18. 15 plus 550 is $20.50. I just reduced my cost average just by buying the lower strike price. What do you want?
How are you?
All right.
I'm bothering you?
Now you are. I'll call you later. I told you to text me.
You told me to call you 12:15.
All right. It's good that you're thorough. Are you in the room today?
No, I was not able to talk.
All right. I'll set you up later. I'm just in the middle of doing something now. I'll call you back as soon as I can.
Okay, sorry.
So that's all right. I'll see you later. Everybody wants in. All right, so you guys know the plan, right? And by the way, here, look, some more pup and dubs coming back. This is on eLab. Why is this thing still? I appreciate your determination. No, definitely. I'll also send you an email. I'm opening the dungeon again tomorrow. I got to get a new, fresh crop of people in there. All right. On that note, I am out of here. So I guess officially I just added another 100 shares to my Lightpath collection. And not selling the Qs. And if you heard me correctly, right? Prior day lows, only reason to sell, and that's way back here, 639.55. Not selling. But if we make it to today, if we make it through today, assuming we are above 39.65, tomorrow's stop will be this price. Tomorrow's stop will be this the 42.50, and so forth and so on, and again and again and again. Pleasure hanging out with you. If anybody actually is interested in coming to the event, try to get yourself a free ticket. They're out there. But if not, we could probably meet before the event. I just can't guarantee you they're not going to throw you out. Or we could just do it some other time, because I can get us access to the stock exchange. I just need a couple of weeks notice. I got a couple of guys that still work down on the floor. They can give us a little guided tour. It's a lot of fun. All right. So we got a couple of dates to be thinking about now. So May 9th, 12 o'clock. Join the room. Be a part of it. And good luck if you guys are holding VICR into the report. And like I said, if it does gap down big, I'm hearing so much positivity on this company that I'd be buying the dip if they do smack it down on earnings like it did last time. So reach out to me, email me, make sure on my email contacts. My email is simple to remember, kennyglick@AOL.com. And yeah, I'll probably open the dungeon again the next day or so. But I had guys in there that this one guy, 27 trials, he kind of ruins it for everybody. And then I tell him, why don't you pay? Oh, you know, why would I pay? I don't know. Apparently you love me. 27 trials. All right. Good luck, everybody. And I mean it. If you're holding VICR into the earnings tomorrow morning, this stock's going to be either up or down 20, 30 points. There's no in between. This is going to be a 10% mover. Hopefully it's up. Makes it easier. But if it drops 10 or 15%, I'm buying. Just like Cliffy today. Every dip's a buy until it's not. Adios, amigos. I'll see you soon.